Hello, everybody. Rokelle Lerner here. Lately, with economic insecurity, heightened threats of war, fear is whispering in our ears. Fear plays such a huge role in shaping who we become. It affects the decisions we make, the actions we take, and the outcomes we achieve. There's a difference between fear and anxiety. Fear is what we call a core emotion. It's an emotional response to known or looming threats, and it's not inappropriate to feel fear. But anxiety is different. When we can't be with our core emotions, like fear or sadness or pain or grief, we become anxious about them. Anxiety is what I call fermented emotions. It's a defense against feeling our core emotions. And to be able to move through our fear, we must first allow ourselves to acknowledge the fear. If we stay in denial, it will remain our constant terrorizing companion. And our reaction when we deny our fear, numb ourselves, try to push it away, is either hyperdrive. We flip from one thing to the next without accomplishing anything, or we go into paralysis. The more we're able to bring our focus fully to where we are, the less energy and thought we expend. Then we can discern if there is action to be taken or we're simply terrorizing ourselves. I want to tell you a story that comes from Pema Chodron about facing fear. Once upon a time, there was a young warrior. Her teacher told her that she had to do battle with fear, and she didn't want to do that. It seemed too frightening. But the teacher said she had to and gave her the instructions. The day arrived, and the student warrior stood on one side and fear on the other. The warrior was feeling small, and fear was looking big and wrathful. The young warrior roused herself and went toward the fear, prostrated 3 times, and asked, "May I have permission to go into battle with you?" And fear said, "Thank you for showing me so much respect that you asked permission." Then the young warrior said, "How can I defeat you?" And fear replied, "My weapons are that I talk fast and I get very close to your face. Then you get completely unnerved and you do whatever I say without thinking. You can listen to me and you can have respect for me. You can even be convinced by me if necessary. But if you don't summon the courage to stay present with me, I will overwhelm you." In that way, the student warrior learned how to be with fear. Once we move through the fog of fear and shine the light of awareness by taking some action, moving forward, fear loses its efficacy. Instead of armoring ourselves and going into hyperdrive or numbness, the key is to make friends with your vulnerability. Let me explain something. Something about emotions. An intense emotion lasts 60 to 90 seconds if you can stay present to the sensation and stay out of the stories you tell yourself in your head. That emotion will dissipate. I call it riding the wave. It doesn't mean that you have to dive head first into the pool. But ladies and gentlemen, consider dipping a toe in and gradually befriending that kind of vulnerability. But it's important to remember 2 things. Number 1, if you're feeling fear these days, you are not alone. You are not the only one. So reach out, talk to people. Secondly, courage does not mean lack of fear. Courage means allowing yourself to be present with the fear and doing what has to be done without medicating, numbing, purging with anger or other inappropriate behavior. This will take time. You'll be uncomfortable for a while, but your skill will improve with practice and time. Being more in touch with ourselves gives birth to enormous tenderheartedness and appreciation for the world and other people. They're wonderful gifts. And it all comes from touching the shakiness within and being willing to be present with us. Until next time.